screen. Irving. Sorcerer. Irving comes up with a steal. Irving racing it. Finds Durant with a hammer. Now that was textbook. Kyrie hits a buzzer. Man, that thing was in the air for a long time. Irving behind the back. Wizardry.
Out for him. Otherwise, I'm not sure. Sabonis saw that the clock was going down.
And Kyrie Irving going to work this. Irving.
No, not him. Not him. He's a guy that can make.
Well, they doubled Sabonis. Irving. Oh, the spin.
Kyrie. Yeah, Murray not bashful on the threes, and neither is that guy as Kyrie Irving steps right in. Here's Kyrie. For Griffin. White trying to draw the charge. No whistle. A double. Hit 23 against OKC as well. Irving for three.
Irving. Edwards stays in front of him.
Oh my gosh.
And Irving. Kyrie. Cutting down. Irving's got to get it off. Just doesn't time. Banks at home and the foul. That is just up to 19 point. Kyrie Irving dancing again. Pulls up jumper. It's
Last year. He has rolled 1 of 7 though tonight.
Kyrie Irving for three.
Preferably a three, but either way, a quick pass.
Irving finds room. Three-pointer is good. Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving yet to get it rolling here. Leads in. 2-2 run to pull away and win the game the other night. Irving, zigzag move. Irving, next level.
Against Johnson, pullback, taking over. Kyrie powered up. Rashawn and Davion locking him down. Kyrie stays with him.
Kyrie Irving, one of the great sit down. You know, as Kyrie Irving in the paint and find Kuzma.
Again, Middleton right with Irving, spins off of him. Oh, what a tough shot.
It's a great chance against his switching. I was just going to say, to get a slip to the rim.
Irving at the end of the shot clock not only gets the foul, Miami triple the fourth. Long one for Kyrie. Really points up by the turnovers and must get through that area. And really try to clog the paint. This man. And that allows that mid-range shot. It's there. Kyrie gives the board for a really good cut by Middleton. Oh, nice hesitation from Irving. Gets inside, draws contact. Edwards pass inside. Tough turnaround, high arcing shot.
Game played 42 minutes a night. The next year, 25 points and 18 rebounds. Aggressive play.
Kyrie Irving gets free. Three-pointer, it's good. In that game that Brooklyn lost against Boston, Tatum had 56. Dragic. Irving. Dragic. Good count. Durant skip pass to Irving. Wow, he never let that ball. Curry, one-handed pass to Irving, placing Patty Mills. Good anticipation by Irving. Look at Irving in the open floor. Look at Kyrie Irving. 13-point game. Irving, good job. There's your 50-point night. Kyrie Irving scores a half 100 by himself.
16 and 16. Have gone 24 and 8 since. Man is in. Right in, Kyrie. Good defense by the Nets. Ahead to Kyrie. 3 on the fly. Cord! With a 1/10 of a second left. First quarter has come to the close, and the Nets in Brooklyn home games. So he's got very few left. With the team, they'll try inside with this.
Last time.
Here's Kyrie Irving off the screen. The open jump by Irving.
Irving controls the dribble, fires out of the corner, got it for three. They've played the entire first quarter. Pull-up jumper over Carter. My Wendell Carter Jr. on the bench right now. He's got 10 points. Irving is going to get 2 more. Irving driving, left-handedness. 3.5 to play. Irving again. As far as the visiting team, the other team scoring a bunch of points. Rockets handles the ball. To Irving, he'll shoot for 3 again. My goodness, this is incredible. Cut the lead to 19, 93-74. There's a whistle, the shot. Durant wanted to shoot, but gave it up to Brown. Magic swarming in the paint. The 3 by Irving. 106-82. Irving challenged by Wendell, still spins it in. Collided with Carter and still able to spin it. Irving guarded by Admiral Schofield. Knocks down a 2-point that tonight. He's got good size. Forces him into that tough shot. 128-94. Kyrie for 3. Got it. 60-point game for Kyrie Irving. Irving gets a running start. Look out here now. Look at him push the ball. Gets inside. Makes it home. The coaching has been excellent. They play a great style of play. And they're having a 41-second. Irving drawing the defensive track. Got fouled. Got his first bucket.
He's so good at his ability to use that probing dribble. He ran a double team at him initially. He moves over to the left, kind of lost control. And then it gets in. Right here to continue this. It's down 6. A little over 5 minutes to go. Irving pedals through and late. 8 to shoot. Irving wants it. Irving dancing around ball. He got it.
A couple in the last game. Dwayne Casey wants him to shoot more. Shooting 19% though on the season.
Irving, the turnaround.
And that's when you talk about kind of a rebuilding year, when you tell a person that's shooting 19
Breathing room. They're not out of the woods yet. Pull up on Stewart.
Kyrie Irving.
All everything guard. Irving.
Oh, thing of hell.
A minute and change away from wrapping it up.
Kyrie, a dagger 3. Gets with a little momentum now. Irving, a deep one. It is good.
dialed in today in Washington.
Irving raising up. Oh, a little bit of jelly at the rim.
Osman trying to stay with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie splits it.
Little fadeaway is good. Cross. Here comes Patty Mills. He finds Durant. Irving, what a catch. What a finish.
Bench. Change in roles for him. He's adapted so well. Contest Kyrie Irving. It doesn't matter. Durant gives it right back to him.
And he'll fire a three. And he'll knock it down.
Cleveland. Chance at the last shot. Irving behind the back, trying to get free. Does so. And there it is. A perfect half for Kyrie Irving. Into the hands of Brown. Another chance. Kyrie. Headed for Kevin Love. Here is Irving on the drive. And his basket of the night. Turning down the three. Putting his head down in attack. Irving runs up and knocks it. Irving pushing. Irving on the drive, stops off the glass, banks it home right now. Gets it back from Claxton. Shot clock at 4. Irving fires away. Got it! A two-pointer for Kyrie Irving. And I think Tatum, meanwhile, out there, he is not set yet here in the second half. Irving close past him. Layup is good. Durant to Irving. Irving catches, fires, connects. Kyrie is out there. Yes, they are. Irving against Tatum. On the drive, the pull-up double clutch is good. Irving looking. 7 to shoot. Irving step back 3. Puts it in. Kyrie Irving with the long. Giving the Nets everything he's got. Here's Kyrie Irving for 3.
All right, and we are live. What is up, YouTube basketball family, boxing family? It is I, Kieran Rodriguez, aka KRAD7435, I'm back at it with another good live stream for y'all today for my very first ever NBA basketball ratings #1. This is my very first ever player ratings, and what I do here is similar to the fighter ratings, but just a little bit of a touch up. We do about 7 topics. I was gonna do 8, but I kind of figured it all out to be rightfully 7. So if anybody wants to click the link to join in on the conversation, feel free. From there on, I'll just kind of go off with the topics that I have at hand. We have the eye tests, offensive ability, defensive ability, chemistry teammate potential, playmaking IQ, strength of skill set in NBA playoffs, intangibles, and then that's it. All right, so yeah, let's get right into it, man. For those of you that don't know, it's KRAT7435. This is a brand new series that I'm going to be starting with for NBA player ratings. And yeah, let's get right started to talk about Mr. Kyrie Andrew Irving. He was born in Australia. He was a former college basketball player over at Duke University, Go Blue Devils. Which he was then later drafted to the Cleveland Cavaliers on, I believe, in 2011, as he was the #1 draft pick, and he's been in the NBA for roughly 10 years. Um, Kyrie Irving had played his very first season with the Cleveland Cavaliers, to which he had played 51 games. He had only averaged 30.5 minutes per game. He averaged 18.5 points per game, averaged 14.6 field goal attempts, shot 46% from the field goal line. He had made about 1.4% 3-pointers made, and 3.6 3-pointers attempted, and then he shot about 39.9% from the 3-point line, and his field goal percentage was at 87.2%, and his offensive rebounding ability was a 0.9%. Defensive rebound ability was a 2.9%, and his rebound percentage overall, or average overall, came out to be a 3.7. He averaged about 5.4 assists, averaged 3.1 turnovers, and he averaged 1.1 steals. And after that, I think that's about it. That's in his first year. Obviously, I'm not gonna go off on every single year that he played, but as far as what I know, Kyrie Irving has been on some really, really good teams, and he's had a really, really good NBA playoff scoring series, in which I will try to get to that if I could find it, in which I to which I'm pretty sure that I can. But yeah, that's pretty much it for him. As a player, he averages about 27.4 points per game, averages 4.4 points, he averages 4.4 rebounds per game, 5.8 assists per game, and he has a 13.5 percentage average of a PIE. Do not know what that is, but that's pretty much, I think, his player average as a player. I could be wrong, but either way, Kyrie Irving is a point guard. He is 6'2", 195 pounds, and he is currently 30 years old, playing for the Brooklyn Nets for his current NBA career. So yeah, let's get right to it. We're gonna talk about the eye test. See, now I've always thought of Kyrie Irving to be the type of guy where he's always had a pretty good mindset coming into basketball. and I've always respected him as a player. But for the eye test, I would give it like a solid 8.5. Um, I've always thought of Kyrie Irving to be a good player, but at the end of the day, like ever since he started as a rookie, leading up to his World Championship run back in 2016 with LeBron James, that was pretty much like the only notable, credible victory for him to shine as a player. But ever since then, his deprecation has started to catch on to him. But as far as the eye test, just from a casual perspective, he's definitely a solid 8.5. He's done some really really good things, and he's done what he had to. Oh, sorry, what he had to do, and he's done some very very good things. Um, as far as his overall ability of what he can do, he has a pretty good stellar skill set to do the things that he was able to do, and that's something that I can definitely respect out of him. And he's done some very very notable things. But as far as everything else that goes, he's done very 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 good stuff, and that's how I would view it for the eye test for topic number one. For the next topic, the offensive ability. Kyrie Irving has averaged well over 25 plus points per game. Every time you've seen him, with with a good team, he's always been averaging over 20, 25 points per game, if not higher. He's been averaging well over a solid, I think like 30 plus points per game ever since he was with the Brooklyn Nets. But leading up to that point, he's done some very good things as far as, averaging the most points as a point guard, if I'm not mistaken. But as far as his awards and honorship goes, he was a former three-time All NBA team player, and then he was a first he was a one-time all rookie team NBA player, and then he was a one-time NBA All-Star MVP, four-time NBA Player of the Week, three-time NBA Rookie of the Month, and he was a former NBA Rookie of the Year award titleist, and he was a former Olympic gold medalist, I believe, in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, Kyrie Irving, he's done some very, very good things. He was obviously a former NBA World Champion back in 2016 when he won it with LeBron James back in Cleveland during that time frame. But as far as what he has done, he's done some very, very good stuff, and he's made himself a very, very valuable player. But yeah, let's talk about the offensive ability. His offensive ability is very, very good. I would rate Kyrie Irving to be more of a shoot and passer type of player. He likes to shoot a lot. He likes to have like the egotistical nature to try to have the ball in his hands. Has very, very good shot selection. He really knows what he's doing when he's in the zone. And I think that's something that Kyrie Irving has been worked on ever since he's been in the NBA. But he's done some very, very good stuff. He's solidified himself to be a very, very credible player, and he's always there to make a good shot. Um, obviously, like if you guys want to know his offensive stats from the regular seasons, I'll even go with one of his best seasons back in 2016 through 17 season, where he played about 72 games. That's the most that is one of the most games that he has played throughout the season. But he averaged about 25.2 points per game. He had averaged about a 47.3% field goal rating, a 40.1 or yeah 40.1% 3-point shot rating, to which that's not really good per se. I mean, I probably say like anything over 40 is good, but it's definitely to the level of you making shots. But yeah, he's averaged a 90.5% free throw percentage, average 2.5 defensive rebounds, 3.2 rebounds per game, 5.8 assists, only averaged 2.5 turnovers, and average 1.2 percentage of steals, 0.3 blocks, and I think that's about it. I don't know too much about like the PF section. I think that's passes. Yeah, like I don't know too much about that, but yeah, that's definitely one of his best years in the NBA. But obviously, we'll talk about the rest of the seasons with Boston leading up to Brooklyn, and obviously let the rebuilding season with Cleveland as well. But offensive ability, I'm going to give it a solid 9.5. Kyrie Irving deserved it. He's definitely one of the most formidable shooters or scorers in the NBA that definitely knows how to score when he has possession of a ball. But I think it's definitely due to the lack of teamwork that his team sets him up for a good shot. Um, I think honestly that the thing is just that with the things that he does on and off the court, he definitely has a very good opportunity to do the things that he is supposed to do. But I think what the problem is just that he needs to be given the opportunities to be set up with the right shots. But I think it's obviously due to his egotistical nature to wanting to have the ball in his possession all the time. Now for the third topic is defensive ability. This would be consisting of steals, blocks. I'd probably say defensive court IQ. That pretty much like follows into what we want to see for his defense. But for defensive ability, I would have to rate it a solid 8.5 again. He has good solid defense throughout his rookie season leading up to now. He's been averaging like pretty much a good set of defensive rebounds. First year was 2.9, second year 3.1, third year 2.9, fourth year 2.4, fifth year 2.1, sixth year 2.5, seventh year in 2017 through 18 was 3.2, and 2018 for defensive rebounds was 3.9. 2019 was 4.1. 2020 was 3.8. 2021 to 2022 was 3.8 as well. And then for rebound, that pretty much falls into defensive rebounds. But for blocks per game, really nothing much. He's been really just going from 0.4 to at least a 0.6 or 0.7 to his most recent years. But then as far as steals goes, his steals are pretty much at the same. At first, when he first came into the NBA, he was only averaging 1.1 steals per game. But then ever since then, leading up to now, it's always been averaging around 1.4 or 1.5. And then I think that's pretty much it if I got that right. But as far as I guess at the ball control with his turnovers was definitely have improved. He still turns over the ball at times, but his worst year of him turning over the ball was with a 3.2 percentage of him turning over the ball back in 2012 to 2013. But then as of now, within the last 3 years, he's been averaging 2.5 as of now for this year. Last year for 2021 was 2.4. For 2020 was 2.6. And then for 2019, 2.6 as well. So his turnover ratio has definitely improved. Definitely has like a lot of holes with his defensive ball control ability. He can still handle the ball very well, but I would say honestly, it's definitely like a solid 8.5 for defensive ability overall. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna give that a 8.5. So for the other topic is chemistry, teammate potential. Um, See, now this is a very tricky subject because I've never really thought of Kyrie Irving to be the type of guy where he always looks for his team. But based off of the assists per game that he's been averaging, he's been doing pretty good. He's been doing what he was supposed to do in the regular season. And as far as like what he's been doing, um, I think overall, he's been pretty good with having the ball in his hands, but he also does average a good high amount of assists. But obviously, that's really never to be like the pure key role of having a good chemistry with the player. It's also like how do those players see that player progressing around them, and how would they view that player's like emotional fortitude to be a good player around them. So I would say for the chemistry teammate potential, I would have to give it a solid 7.5. I don't think Kyrie Irving is the best chemistry teammate to have out there, where he doesn't really listen to the coaches all the time, and he tends to have this weird mentality to say that he needs his own team, and he wants to be the one in charge of everybody else. And I don't really like that out of him. I think that's really, really bad, especially heading into a postseason or into the playoffs, because that pretty much shows that even though that you did win a title with LeBron James, that was only one because LeBron James was the main leader of that group. And I think that the leadership of Kyrie Irving was so tainted to the point where Kyrie, he was too power hungry to just have his own team. So therefore, you see the difference with a Kyrie Irving that runs his own team. He is good for the most part, but as a team together, it's a solid 7.5. He can be better, but Kyrie Irving, he's definitely been on the downfall with his chemistry, where teammates can definitely give him the ball when he demands it, but when Kyrie Irving is not hot and he's having one of his off nights, he doesn't let his teammates get better enough to the point where he's able to be successful to get up to that level. Now, for the next topic, is the playmaking IQ. That would consist of like the assists per game, and I would probably say just like his play style overall. Um, Obviously, like his assists, like I said, ranging back from 2011 all the way up to now, within 10 years, he's always been averaging at least 5.4 to his highest ever 6.9 percentage of assists per game. That was back in oh shit I'm sorry, that was back in 2018 leading into 2019, at that time frame. But as of recently, he's been averaging well over close up to six assists per game. And as far as the playmaking IQ, he definitely has skills with his playmaking. He definitely knows how to get a team involved when he wants to be a team player to setting up his teammates. But for playmaking IQ, as far as just knowing knowing the court vision, understanding where he is, and knowing when to go in drastic measures to go for a good shot. I would have to give it like another 8.5. I don't think Kyrie Irving is like the best playmaker out there, but he definitely knows what he's doing. But it can be vastly improved to the point where Kyrie Irving can be a one good hell of a player, to the point of which he knows where to be at the right time to get the proper scoring in for his team to win. Um, yeah, so for the next topic, we have the strength of skill set in the NBA playoffs. This is strictly going by the NBA playoffs as a whole for his resume, and we go by the stats, we go by what he's been doing, but we also go by the resume of how many credible how many credible successes that you have had in the playoffs. And I guess we could just rate it through the 1 through 10 system anyway, because that's how I usually do it. But as far as like the strength of skill set in the NBA playoffs, um I mean, I would have to give it a solid 8. I don't really see anything special out of Kyrie Irving. He is a good player. Don't get it twisted. In which I will go with I will talk about his playoff splits or his playoff stats. But as far as like what he's been doing, um, he's been doing some pretty big numbers in the playoffs. Um, the most he's ever scored in the playoffs was about 25.9 points per game. That was when he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers that following 2017, where the Cleveland Cavaliers got smoked by the Golden State Warriors back in 2017. And that was one of his best years, where he averaged 25.9 points per game. He averaged 46.8 percentage from the field goal line, and he averaged 37.3% from the 3-point line. His field goal percentage was a 90.5, average about 2.8 rebounds per game, 5.3 assists per game, 1.3 steals per game, and 0.4 blocks per game. But as far as points in general, he's done a pretty good job in the playoffs. His very first playoff appearance was back in 2014, leading up to 2015 with the Cleveland Cavaliers, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, where he was only playing 35.7 minutes per game. He only averaged 19 points, 43.8% from the field goal line, and he averaged a 45 percentage from the 3-point line, and what else? I think averaged 84% from the free throw, and whatchamacallit. He also averaged 2.8 defensive rebounds, 3.6 rebounds per game, 3.8 assists per game, and then 1.3 percentage in blocks or steals, and then he only averaged 0.8 percentage in blocks, and then yeah, I mean leading up forward, he's been in the playoffs back in 2014 to 2015, 2016 to or 2015 to 2016, and then 2016 to 2017, and then 2018 to 19, and then 2020 to 2021, and then 2021 to 2022. But as far as points overall, averaged 19 points in the first year, or the first playoff run back in 2014 to 15, and then 25.2 points in 2015 to 16, in 2016 to 17, 25.9 points per game, and then 2018 to 2019, 21.3 points per game, 2020 to 2021, 22.7 points per game, and then recently 2021 to 2022, 21.3 points per game. So, I mean, Kyrie Irving has had like a pretty stellar career. Definitely got to give him a lot of credibility, and as far as the postseason potential, his skill set overall is very very high. But as far as like the strength of his skill set overall, it's not to the legendary status of him always going to the NBA Finals. He's always been stuck either in the semifinals or in the first round or in the conference semifinal or the conference finals. But the furthest he's ever even gotten after the LeBron James victory, he's never been past, I believe, the first or second round, if I'm not mistaken, because he screwed up in Boston. We already knew that. The Boston Celtics, I think they lost in the conference finals. Yeah, in the conference finals or the semifinals. But then after that, with Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Nets didn't make it, or they actually made it to the playoffs in 2021. From 2020 to 2021, they lost to the Milwaukee Bucks in the conference finals. They definitely came close to winning that. And then, as of recently, they got swept by the by the Boston Celtics. So, yeah, I mean, either way, like it's been very, very highly skilled competitive games. Salute to you, PVH Big Dog. Thank you for coming by. Um, yeah, so I mean, overall, his skill set alone in the playoffs is a good solid 8. I mean, I don't see anything special out of Kyrie Irving. He's just like another ordinary point guard that likes to score. But as far as what he can do on the court, he's definitely there to be a walking target for somebody to score on. But either way, I think Kyrie Irving, he's a pretty solid player when it comes to the postseason. It's just that he tends to have deficiencies that leaves himself wide open for for him to be exposed, heading into the postseason. Uh, the last topic is the intangibles. Intangibles, I'm gonna have to rate this to be a solid 9. I think Kyrie Irving deserves it. Overall, his legacy as a player, he's done enough for the game for him to be successful. But the problem with him is just that he doesn't have the right tools behind his skill set for him to become a champion again. And I think it's simply due to him. And I think honestly, like I'm gonna have to change my score to be. I'll give it like a 7. Yeah, 7.75. I mean, intangibles. He's a good player, but there's just way too many holes for him to be, outgunned by somebody that we already know that can easily be the goods in the next coming years. But as far as his potential as a player as a whole, intangibly speaking, I think it's a solid 7.75. I mean, I can't see it any other or anything else different. It's just that Kyrie Irving, he's a good player, but the problem is that he's just never been to the level of which he should have been at the right stages. But unfortunately, things just never went his way to the point of him wanting his own team. And then he, struggled with the coaching and then him not wanting to just be entirely focused. He's always had these weird, outside distractions. But either way, it's a 7.75. I can't go anything higher than that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me just average up, the numbers, and then we'll get out of here. That's how I wanted to get it done. I wanted to make it quick, but either way, this was a very very good show as far as starting out, and I know eventually, this series will definitely get bigger over time, and I appreciate anybody that will be watching on the replay. But yeah, I mean, that's just how I see Kyrie Irving as a player, and I think it's pretty fair to say that. But I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think he can be good, but there's definitely some holes that he needs to fix on if he wants to ever reach back to world title contention. But I now have the official score for Kyrie Irving. And for the very first ever show for NBA basketball player ratings, number 1, Kyrie Irving comes out to a final score of a 8.32. Not bad. Not bad. That's how I kind of always viewed him. He's always like a B level type of player. He can be better. He can be A tier or S tier, but I think the problem with him is just that he needs to be more disciplined on the defensive and um, IQ level awareness for him to be that type of guy for him to reach back up to a title contention run. Because the problem with him is just that he is too egotistically minded for him to not go beyond the level of making his teammates better. And I think it's simply due to him per se. Because if he wasn't like that, he would be a higher rating. But the problem with him is just that he's just not fully disciplined, and he needs to work on that because if he wants to, be at that level, he can do it. He just needs to work on it. But I think honestly, at the end of the day, man, I think everything that I don't know. I think everything like about him, he was always good coming into the NBA, but he just needed some work, and I think that's fair to say. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, anything else that I even had left to say, that's pretty much it. I appreciate for anybody that did come out to watch. I don't understand why YouTube doesn't send out notifications to everybody because I would have more viewers because I'm already at 800 subscribers, but I think it's simply just due to poor algorithm. So it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna keep continuing to grind and just keep building up this army. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate anybody that will watch the replay. And this is brought to you by um, Kieran Rodriguez, KRAS7435. Y'all know where to find me. You can find me on here or my Instagram at Kieran Rodriguez6 or at my podcast and channel over on Red Circle. The link is in the description below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll continue to keep posting video game content and sports content for boxing and basketball. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I appreciate you guys for coming through once again, and salute to the mighty LDBC. And I'm out of here, y'all. Peace out.